lecture on the issue patterning our people back home. So I have a question to you. In
Please
Facebook,
go ahead.
okay, in Facebook, I do make some videos,
Right.
and some of our brothers from the rivers will write to me and caution me not to use Igbo when I'm doing videos pertaining general Eastern region or Biafra. So I want to know
Yeah.
why are they so angry of that language called Igbo?
Thank you very much for this question. Uh, it's long overdue of hiding facts and information. People. I am from River State. I am from Mokrika Waterside of River State. We we from the riverine area, all the people from the riverine area, it's about up to the 10, 11 islands in the River State. Now they have removed Bakassi Islands. We are all Igbos, and history
Okay.
told us and informed us that during the slavery time, when slavery was going on, our ancestors, our Igbo family captured a lot of their family members and kindreds and brothers and sisters and those that owe them money and those that they don't like and those that are so strong in the villages and towns and kingdoms, those against them, and they marched them to River State, where they call River State today, Iguacha.
Okay.
And they tied them and bound them and marched them to River State and sold them to the Portuguese and to the English and to everybody that comes to buy slaves.
Oh.
The white man did not come into the mainland to buy slaves. Our people captured our ancestors and brought them to River to sell.
It's like
Sell them
we're
to the
having technical issues in terms of network. I don't know the particular place where you are now. Please, can you check whether your network is?
Can you repeat them again?
I mean that your network is hanging. It's freezing. Hello, can you hear me?
Line clear, not clear.
Not clear. Please, those
Hear
that
me.
are watching, we will soon come back again. Don't go out. Just 1 minute. Let's ratify this
Thank you.
technical issue. No. Okay, so we are back again.
Okay. You asked, your question was why our riverine people hate the Igbo language so much.
Yeah.
It's a reminder of the past, as I was saying. There was nothing like River State, Cross River State, and these new states. Before it was the last time it was River State, Cross River State. Before they started breaking it up, but as I'm saying, Iguacha and Yanagua used to be a trading center, a marketplace for locals and foreigners to come and buy, sell and buy things. Even the time before Juku's father, ships come there to buy and sell. But during the slave time, our people were being kidnapped in the mainland Igbo, in the whole region of mainland Igbo today,
Yeah.
and brought to River State, across River State and Bayelsa to sell them. And they will sell them to Igbo people. So when they were bringing more people, it became a trading center for slaves. They are selling their own, the Igbo in their own. Everybody you see today, probably in Jamaica and many other places. So what happened is after they abolished slavery, Britain abolished slavery and went to war with Netherlands of today,
Yeah.
the Kingdom of Netherlands today, everybody that was brought to River State that time was freed. Cross River State, they were freed, by the colonial masters. They were freed by the missionaries. So they continued to stay there. So our people refused to go back to the mainland where they came from again, and they start changing their names so that they can disguise themselves and hide from those Ekumeku people, those people that are still in Kebeli. We know their Asian names, Nkebeli, Ekumeku, those people that rob people and steal them. So that is why you see us bearing some foreign names now that is baffling sometimes.
Like our ex-president that is answering Goodluck Jonathan or Goodluck Ebele Jonathan.
Yes. From Brutu to Ishekri to all those places, to Chiso, they bring slaves to Bayelsa, Even Yorubas, the Kwara people,
Yeah.
The Kwara people, it's known. Ondo people. They were bringing slaves to Bayelsa. How 25% of the people you see that live in Bayelsa today are slaves that came from the Yorubas brought in to sell.
Okay.
So there's in Bayelsa, people of Bayelsa today, 10%, 20% has got part of their maternal side or paternal side to Yoruba. So we are a nation of many people. We are a nation of freed people from River State and Cross River State, and even the Ekpo that you play today,
Yeah.
was an origin of Igbo land, or Conquer, and all those things. So
our people in my community, within my community, we dance or conquer,
Even if you come to Bonny, they dance one time, and one time is a namely masquerade,
Okay.
In Anambra State. So today, all this Rumo Ikwerebe is Umu Ikwerebe, Rumo Masi, Umu Masrem,
You mean
Yes. There's nothing like Rumo. It's Umunda, So.
But why do they change? Why do they change the pronunciation?
They changed the pronunciation because the Portuguese, when they came, these kingdoms were these families, these clans and kindreds are existing. They're existing there. So the Portuguese cannot say Omo. The Portuguese began to say Rumo.
Okay.
The Portuguese began to say Rumo. So when Gowon came to orchestrate his final coup, the final blow, to divide Igbo people, to divide us, to separate us from our mainland brothers, they decided to adapt that that Portuguese accent, Rumo,
Okay.
so that they will not unite with our people. But we are one. So when you speak Igbo, those that are very close to the history would not like to hear you speak Igbo. Because it's a reminder of betrayal of brethren.
But don't you think that it would be nice when they accept that language and made the Igbos to understand their anger on Igbos,
I agree with you. The problem lies on the leaders of today, of the kings, the Amayarabos, the kindreds, and the kings and obis, the Andigways, and of Igbo land. They know the history. They have to come for complete reconciliation. There should be some restitution, There should be some metraja to appease the gods of the land and restitution with cow or sheep, whatever they want to use, and omo and manyanko neruhonana to appease the land, to reunite and reconnect and reintegrate the people with their families. There's nobody in River State that, or across River State, because I like to use those two states only now as the geographical area, because when you start naming all the new state they created, which means nothing, it's just for development's sake. When you nobody living in that state that has no Igbo blood, nobody. So
okay, continue, please. Sorry.
So there's nothing like riverine people. We are named riverine people because we are forced to brought there. We are brought there by force to be sold to slavery. The truth is bitter, so they don't want to accept it. It is the from the to Mri kingdom. There should be some reconciliation process in place, and I am grateful that you have started this forum. Every river's born, every cross river's born hearing my voice, should join this forum for a complete reconciliation. No Igbo will come and dominate you, as the Hausas are saying. No Igbo will come and take what belongs to you.
But
we are Republicans.
Brother, don't the rivers also know that most of the Igbos today doesn't know about this history?
Of course, they don't know. They don't know because the people that has separated us, has also taken some people among us in the riverine area, in the River State and Cross River State. They have adopted them. The zoo, the Nigerian government has adopted these people as their agent in our land to make sure that they hide this information from the sons and daughters of River State. I happens to know this because I was close to elders in my place. I was opportune to be close to elders, ancient people. For example, in 1983, when I was young, I just entered secondary school, there were people that were 90 years old in my community, 95, and they still talk, and they will sit you down and tell you the history vividly, 1983, 84, 85. So now those are the only, and because they are not educated, they are not in the Western world, they don't have influence, they cannot bring that information, and such information will never be taught in social studies or in history in school, So our people don't know, Rivers people don't know. Most Rivers people don't know this thing I'm saying today.
But do you think that this is what triggered the abandoned property and the thing that made the Rivers people to collide with the Northerners during the Civil War?
No, it's not.
Okay.
No, not at all. Not at all. What triggered the Rivers people to go with Nigerian government is because when Zeke was doing One Nigeria Hopelessness and his colleagues, and Awolowo removed him from power in Lagos, he returned back home and took over the governance and the leadership of our people from a River State man who has worked tirelessly to maintain the unity of our eastern region and sound as one voice.
Do you have any name? Do you have his name?
I have forgotten his name, but I will make a research again.
Okay.
His name is ringing a bell in my head. But this thing happened when Enugu was the headquarters.
Okay. Yeah.
He demoted him and took over. A lot of Igbos know what I'm saying. A lot of politicians know what I'm saying. Every one of them knows what I'm saying. Because Enugu was the capital of the eastern region.
Yes.
So when he came, he demoted him and took over. He came back from Lagos. He demoted him and took over. So when our brother went back to Port Harcourt, Iguacha, his family and people told him that Igbo people they don't want our interest at all. They don't take our interest at heart, and they're using the majority number to dominate our people and to bring us to submission as a subject. So during that time, the enemies of the eastern region saw that opportunity and took it in and tell them that, look, and this didn't happen earlier after the independence, but they told them, look, what happened that time will happen again if you join Biafra. You know, if you join Biafra, what happened that time will happen again. And they instigated Ken Saro-Wiwa to write more about that history. Ken Saro-Wiwa has the full details of that history. So his people are in possession of it. Everything that's happened during that time, all the things that Zeke and Co did against our son, you know, who was leading the eastern region that time. So Isaac Boro, Adaka Boro became the mayor, the young, vibrant man that the Nigerian government was able to use to put up serious resistance. And that thing is still occurring today. If you see the governors of Riverine area and the governors of the so-called Eastern region, they are not united. They are not coming together to form a coalition of brothers. No. We will debunk all those fallacies and the lies of the Nigerian government that Rivers people and Cross Rivers people will be dominated by Igbos, and we should not be together. Everybody from Abudu down to the islands of the sea of Bakassi Island are Biafrans, including the Anglophone of today. The Anglophone of today was carved out of Biafra and put into Cameroon, you know, because 1961, when they got independent, they gave them independence. But these are our people.
Okay.
You know, these are our people.
And this reconciliation forum that we are trying to activate at the moment now, do you think that is something that your people and our people will be able to forgive and forget, or don't forget about the history, but forgive what our forefathers did? We are not the one that did it, and I may represent my own people to plead and say sorry, and I know that only sorry would not help, that we should start talking about what happened so that the anger and hatredness will be able to fall out.
Yes, we will definitely forgive, because if we don't forgive, we are both going to lose. If two brothers fight, the outsider is the one benefiting. If two brothers quarrel and in a dispute in the house, is the outsider that is the one benefiting. And the Yoruba kingdom and the Hausa Fulani kingdom have determined to stay together to destroy the whole Biafra and subject us to perpetual slavery. So the only way we can remove ourselves from this marginalization policy is to forgive our brothers from the Igbo mainland and work together as one. We will. It's not going to happen in one day. As we start it now, I am saying that from my own point of view, it will take a minimum of 1 year and 1 month for people to open up. So the work is not easy, because 1 year or 1 month is 11, 13 months, and 13 months is a significant number in the Hebrew calendar, and it's a powerful number that is not divisible. It can never divide us. We will certainly unite ourselves. We will forgive. And from my own side, as a River State citizen, I will advocate for my people who are hearing my voice to share this, and let us forgive our Igbo brothers, and we work together as one force. Even the Hausa people that was conquered by the Fulanis that they invited to teach them Arabic are working with the Fulanis. They put their differences aside. The Oduduwa Republic, Oduduwa people put their differences aside. So we must put our differences aside. We know that it's not going to happen again because we are wiser than our ancestors now. Knowledge has increased. Our brothers must be told who they are, but in a gentle form, not in a casual or in an imposing way. We will certainly get there, but the greatest move is to start this process, and I am grateful that you have started it.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. I would like us to stop here for now, and the next episode will continue about this reconciliation. Thank you, my brother, and God bless you.